Okay, good morning, members. I hope everyone is okay and all is well. Today we need to look at who is a technician as well as what they do and so on. Anything related to tech work. So we have experience in working with the computers and in this kind of interaction or doing so. Of course, earning a technical certification can help, people to verify their experience and send confidence to the clients that yes, you know what you're doing. So you can become a qualified for employment as any of the following. You can be a field technician, you can be remote technician, you can be actually bench technician in that case. So technicians in different computer careers, of course, work in different environments. The skills required by each career sometimes can be very similar, and the degree or the qualification to which different skills are needed vary from one job to the next. Yeah. So when training to become a computer technician, develop the following skills. There is no way how you can be a computer technician if you cannot upgrade computers. What do I mean by upgrading? Meaning that you can upgrade both the hardware and software. So in upgrading the hardware, that means, for example, a computer can be of maybe 3 GB of RAM, 2.0 gigahertz of processor speed, and a hard disk of 40 GBs. But then you realize that maybe the user has a lot of stuff they need to keep saving on this computer, whereby 40 GBs are no longer enough. So you need to replace it with maybe 500 GB or a terabyte. And then you need to as well adjust on the what amount of RAM that is in this computer. Most desktop computers have more than one or more than two RAM chips, meaning that you can still adjust by either adding the chip or replacing the existing ones with the more larger capacity chips that can be a little bit faster, you get. Then you need to as well to get what we call the performing, you need to do what we call installations. Yeah, you need to have skills on how to install both still hardware and software, whereby once you do this, you are doing the work of a technician. Yes, installing meaning adding, you get. But in the same way, someone who adds must know how to remove, you get. Increment and decrement, because there are times whereby before you make an installation, you need to first uninstall, you get. So we need to have the skills of both installing and uninstalling. Yeah. You can install software, you can install hardware. For example, you can install a printer to your machine, and then this printer, if it is not a plug and play, it needs some software, the drivers that can make it, compatible and communicate with your PC. So then you also have to have the skills of installing, configuring, and optimizing software that one I've already talked about it. Configuring is making changes on how you want the software to perform, like the way how you have settings on your PC, settings on your phone, whereby some people may have WhatsApp, but the WhatsApp you have and the WhatsApp I have may not be performing similar roles, depending on the configurations that we have made. Then performing preventive maintenance is another something that we need to also pay much attention to as one of the skills, whereby when you, as you also even know, prevention is better than cure. You get, yeah, because once you prevent, once you make the machines up to date, when you always clean, like blowing dust out of these machines, then installing latest, software updates that can fix bugs and patches. So you're trying to prevent the machine from completely going down, because the moment it goes down, that means there won't be production. I mean, there won't be use, and in the same sense, you will realize that you will be losing a lot of time as well as money. Yeah, so the money that you can be charged for a computer whose maybe screen is not displaying anything may be very much expensive compared to the money that you can be charged just to improve on the performance of the machine you get. Then there is also another skill that we need to to get while trying to walk the journey of becoming professional technicians. That is the troubleshooting and then repairing computers. When we talk about troubleshooting, we are trying to see the way how even doctors diagnose an individual. So in this case, for us, we diagnose computers whereby you identify a problem and then come up with solution, that is troubleshooting. Then, of course, you go on to repair. After identifying the problem, then you have the solution, proceed to implement that solution, that is troubleshooting and repairing computers. Then you also need to have skills in communicating clearly with what customers here, because like I may have told you one time that sometimes the language of, customers may not be as much easy as you may think. Is in the same sense, the way how you can see someone having a very sick person, sometimes their mind is upset, and they can tell or they can mention if anything, regardless of maybe whom they are telling it to. So as you a technician, you need to be ready for such, whereby, because if someone has been with a computer and this computer is having a lot of stuff, and then probably maybe the hard disk crashes, that means now their job could be sometimes even at stake. So now you need to have communication skills that can help to clearly work with these people in an amicable way. Then we also have what we call documenting customer feedback, and then the steps involved in finding the solution. In this one, I made like you go to the hospital, then after reaching this hospital, obviously you need to have like some reports from the doctor. Then when you get these reports, they can help you. They can help you to sometimes, like when you get a similar problem, when you go to another hospital, they just look at your reports and get to know, okay, you said that last time when you fall sick, maybe if you have an heart attack, which medication do you always use? Does it work for you or it doesn't work for you? If it works for you, then we just maintain. But if it does not work for you, then that means we come up with an alternative. So in the same sense, so if you know very well that every time I get a machine whose problem is viruses and I install Kaspersky, it has proven to be a very effective kind of antivirus. Then why do you change if you get a similar occurrence? Just maintain and then proceed. So meaning that sometimes there are scenarios that actually happen on the machine which requires uh, standard kind of approach you get. Yeah, so let's start. Then an overview of field, remote, and benchmark technician jobs. These ones I believe you can read through and understand, whereby a field technician works in various conditions and businesses. You get field technicians. They might work for one company and only repair that company's assets, Alternatively, they may as well work for a company that provides on-site computer equipment repair for a variety of what? Companies and customers. So in either of these situations, you need both excellent troubleshooting skills and customer service skills because you are in a regular what? Contact with these people, the owners of these computers, the companies, the organizations, and work on a wide variety of what? Hardware and software. So you need to have the troubleshooting what? Skills. Then when we talk about a remote technician, this might work at the help desk answering calls, of course, or emails from customers who have what? Computer problems here. Someone may call you, you know what? Yeah, my computer is doing this, is misbehaving, is doing this and that, is doing ABC. Yet initially it was working well and so on. So as a professional computer remote technician, you need to have the skills on how to help this person, even when you are not what, even when you are not probably at their what, at their side. For example, if like someone says, you know, I left work and went back home, but on returning in the morning, we realized that when I boot my computer, it is making a continuous sound. You get, you get. So just know that, you know, at least what I want you people is I need to have a class that has people that has individuals that can uh, be computers themselves. You can predict, you can tell a problem even when you're not at what? At the side. But by just listening to the what? To the customer, then you get to know. Now, for example, if the computer is making continuous sounds, sometimes it is just a result of maybe one of the keyboard buttons are being pressed down, whereby once you remove, you know, because sometimes, you know, we can have like cleaners moving here and there, devices from this and that place. So accidentally, someone may place something on the what? On the keyboard. And so when you come on in the morning, turn on the computer, you realize that the computer is making continuous what? Continuous sound. If not that, then sometimes the problem could be on the RAM. That is in the case maybe, you know, the RAM has some issues still. The good thing is the computer communicates, you get. So normally when you are talking with this person, you can ask them what is the computer displaying or what is it doing. Trust me, yes, at least you can easily get to know how to harmonize the situation by just listening to the customer and so on. They create work orders and communicate with the customers to try to diagnose and of course repair the what? The problem remotely without being there. So good communication skills are valuable because the customer must really understand the technician questions and instructions. Now this is when the open-ended questions comes in. Yes, here we can use both open-ended and closed-ended what questions. Yeah, for example, if the person who is having a problem with their computer is at least knowledgeable or is a computer literate, what you have to do is you can ask them actually open-ended questions so that they are able to explain in details what happened and when did it happen, how is it performing, and so on. But if someone is not a computer literate, is just maybe a secretary, is just maybe, you know, someone just working with a computer, probably to go to read emails and maybe type some letters. Yes, closely-ended questions that requires a yes or no answer can easily work best, you get. So as a professional technician, you have to put that into what? Into consideration. Yeah, because you cannot ask a person that, you know, maybe sometimes how much RAM is in your PC, then what is the processor speed, and then which operating system. Sometimes they don't know. So you need to first understand your what? Your client, then you can easily address such what? Such issues. So some help desk use software to of course connect directly to what? The customer's computer to fix the what? The problem. Yes, where possible, maybe yes, you can share like the screens, and then in case, you know, something is happening maybe with the software, because sometimes, yes, someone can have an issue when this issue is just from a certain application whereby they can even now you can connect to Zoom, they share their screen, then you see what exactly happens. Or you can even use other tools, other software tools that can help you fix the stuff while you are online. So a remote technician may work on a team of help desk technicians for an organization or from home. Yes, we can as well have what we call ticketing systems, whereby people can already submit tickets. Yeah, the way how you see people calling customer care of telecom companies, but now developed countries normally rely much on tickets. Yeah, if someone gets an issue, they always just go to the site, they submit a ticket, then you also start working on this ticket, whereby the ticket can change status when you open or when you have very many clients, and then you also have very many, technicians on board. Yes, you can decide to assign a task or a problem or an issue to one of the technicians, depending on their specialty. Then this status can keep changing. I think I can, okay, I wanted to show you something. Okay, but even if I don't show, but I can direct you where to go so that you get to know how help desk or ticketing systems work. You can go to actually open up accounts with the Freshdesk. Yeah, Freshdesk. It can easily show you can submit a ticket. The ticket, once it is open, it can change status, maybe in progress, maybe it is closed, complete, and so on. So that is majorly for the remote work technicians. Then a bench technician may not work directly with customers, whereby bench technicians are often hired to perform computer warranty service in a central depot or work facility. Yeah, like now the way how you can see that maybe Tecno has a service center within Kampala, whereby all Tecno phones can be done can be harmonized from there. That is in a case maybe, yes, you bought Tecno and you are given warranty, then this phone gets an issue before the warranty expires. So you just take it to the Tecno shop, and then these guys are able to work on you at a free At a free cost. Yeah, because the warranty is still on. And we look at power supplies as computer technicians. Now, power supply is one of the most important parts of the computer that needs to be understood clearly if you are to perform the work of a technician, whereby you see, as you hear the term or the name power supply, meaning that in a direct translation, it supplies what? It supplies power to all other parts of the computer, because you know very well that a computer is an electronic device, meaning that it has to be powered by by power source for it to do what? To function. The power supply unit provides electrical power to, for almost all the computers. One thing I want to tell you as system administrators is not every computer can be connected, because you know very well, once you have the computer, you can connect this computer to what? To maybe the power source, the memory socket, and then you work. But not every computer can be connected to a power source directly and it works. There are some computers that comes from, especially those computers that come from Japan. Those, I think even a neck is also from Japan. I'm not so sure. I can, or you can find out. But neck and which other type? There are some types whereby their voltage, the amount of power they can input is below. because in their country, the amount of power they use is not the same amount of power that UK, Uganda, and US uses. Because now, as you know very well, that here, just a second, okay, just a second. Okay, I was telling you that the power supply performs critical role of converting, of course, what we call AC to DC, alternating current to direct what current, because the amount, I mean, the type of power that other devices use is not the same power that computer components should use. That is why now the power supply converts this power from alternating current to direct current. Then I was telling you that not all computers can obviously accept or can be connected directly to what? To umeme, and they work because umeme, our umeme here is in the range of 220 to 240, right? But there are some computers that come in when their voltage is low, below 220. Actually, some are 210, depending on where they were manufactured from. Though most countries use at least a range of 220 and 240, you get voltage. That is why you have to always look, behind the system unit, now where the power supply goes. Now on the power supply, there is normally a gauge where you see the amount of voltage this particular power supply or computer is supposed to do what? To take in. If it is below 220 and you connect it directly to Uganda umeme, the computer will obviously and instantly there and then blow. You get, because the power will be too much for it to do what? Take in. So you have to adjust by sliding. That is in case it has that what? It has the option of moving it from 210 to 220, but if it is just having only 210, that means you need to have a converter, that you will connect direct to umeme, then through it will then connect it to your computer. Yeah, whereby it can try to reduce on the input of power to this device. Difference between AC and DC, yeah, direct current and alternating current, yeah, whereby alternating current is when the electrons, of course, flow in both what directions, as you know. Computers use direct current, and thus power supply unit converts AC to what? To DC. So that is the main work of the power supply in a computer. Convert AC to DC, you get. So in that case, after converting it, that is when now it goes on to distribute it to all other components within the computer. Then power supply troubleshooting. Troubleshooting the power supply basically means isolating the supply as the cause of what? Problems within the system. And in most cases, yeah, it is good that you can just replace it. That is in a case you realize that the problem is a bit what? Big. Computer behaviors that may lead to suspect that the power supply system is failing. In many cases, a parity check error message can indicate a problem with the power supply. So this might seem strange because the parity check message specifically refers to memory that has failed. So the connection is that the power supply powers the memory, and the memory with inadequate power will obviously fail. The same thing when it comes to hard disk. The moment your hard disk crashes, the computer will never mention the word hard disk anyway. in most cases, unless maybe some have now been adjusted. But in most cases, it will tell you that operating system missing. Yeah, because now you know very well that the operating system sits where is stored on the hard disk. So now if the hard disk cannot be recognized, obviously now the system cannot detect the operating system. That is why it will complain and tell you, you know what, or the operating system is what is missing. Then in most cases, you know that the problem is with what is with the hard disk. Yeah. So computer behaviors continue whereby it takes some experience to know when this type of failure is power related and not caused by the memory. One clue is the repeatability of the problem. If the parity check message appears over and over again, I would suspect that defective memory is the what? Is the problem. However, if the problem seems random or if the memory location, the error message cites as having failed seems random, I would of course suspect improper power as the what? The culprit of this problem. So the following can be considered as the list of computer problems that often are related to what? Power supply. For example, any power on or system startup failures or lockups, yeah, as well as the spontaneous rebooting or the intermittent lockups during the normal operation. Then it repeats, it reboots from nowhere. Sometimes it is always as a result of what? Power supply failure. Yeah, then intermittent parity check, the one we have just talked about. Then hard disk and fan simultaneously failing to spin. Yeah, if the hard disk does not start, yeah, sometimes it is as a result of insufficient what? Power, which comes from the power supply. Then when you get the overheating due to fan failure, still that is in most cases as a result of what? Power supply. So electric shocks felt on the system case or connectors. Sometimes you are working with a computer and then obviously when you touch on the system unit, you realize there is a shock or shock. So all these are caused by power supply issues. Check the AC power input, make sure the code is firmly seated in the what? Wall socket and in the power supply what? Socket. So that in the case it does not work out well, then you try a different what? A different cable. Yeah, because sometimes the problem could be on the power cable. So check the DC power connection, make sure the motherboard and disk drive power connectors are of course also very firmly connected, you get. So you have sometimes also to check if you have some screws which are loose, whereby you need to do it, tighten them. Then check the DC power output, use a digital multimeter, of course, to check for proper voltages. If it is below specifications, then you have obviously to replace your power supply. Then check the installed peripherals, remove all boards and drives, and retest the system. If it is far, if it works, then obviously add items back in one at a time to see which one comes with a problem you get. Don't add them at once, but when you are testing now, after removing them and it works well, now put back one by one as you test again. There you will easily get to know which one comes with a problem, and then you can easily deal with it. The last item added before the failure, yeah. Many times those symptoms can indicate problems with the power supply because the power supply literally powers everything else in the system. Everything from disk drive problem to memory problems to motherboard problems can often be traced back to the power supply as the root cause. So how do we use a digital multimeter? Digital multimeter is, let me see if I may not have included a picture here, an image for you for his identification, but yeah, you can. This is what I'm talking about. Let me just do this. Let me just do this. I'm hoping that I was sharing the screen. Otherwise, I may not have been sharing it. But let me first show you the digital multimeter I'm talking about. Digital multimeter. Yeah, very good. Yeah, this is the one I'm talking about, whereby it can easily tell you the amount of voltage for each one, each component and its functionality. If it doesn't work or it cannot allow power to go through, still it won't read amounts, but it will indicate zero. Yeah. So then one simple test you can perform on a power supply is to check the output voltage. Yes, how much power does it output? So this shows whether the power supply is operating correctly, and whether the output voltage are within the what? The range, like I told you. Yes. Yeah. Note that you must measure all voltages with the power supply connected to proper load, which usually means testing while the power supply is still what? Installed. So you need a simple digital multimeter or digital board meter, but I recommend digital multimeter to perform voltage and resistance what checks on electronic circuits. You should use only digital multimeter instead of the older needle type multimeter, because the older meters work by injecting 9 voltage into the what? The circuit when the measuring distance, which damages most computer what? Circuit. So it is not recommended. Yeah, these are all. Now we have some features to look for in a good digital multimeter, and one of them is your cost. How much budget do you have? Yeah, the same way, if we are to buy computers, cost is one of the factors to consider. We need to look out to. Yes. Then we have overload protection. If you plug the meter into a voltage or current beyond the meter's capability to measure, so the meter protects itself from damage. Cheaper meters lack this protection and can be easily damaged by reading current, so on. So auto ranging, the meter automatically selects the proper voltage or resistance range when making what measurements. You can go through this and then we provide feedback where you need clarity. I'm going to share this kind of video, but I need to get each person's, you need to get each person's comment or feedback. It can be in terms of supplement, it can be in terms of question, it can be in terms of anything. You get anything you want to say about this, please put it in the comment section on Moodle so that I'm able to mark you depending on that. Otherwise, thank you very much. And yeah, I call this an end. Bye.